Greetings. This video will cover one of the many variants of the product sales report in Eclipse. So let us get started. This can be run from eTerm or Solar, but we're going to use the Solar interface since we're all new and modern these days. Isn't that great? Um, this particular report is in the end of month reports. So from the main menu, we'll go to reports and end of month reports and product sales report and product sales. All right. So you can see there's lots of options in here. Like most Eclipse reports, there's probably got to be 150 different ways you could potentially run this report. Um, Typically, this product report is usually run as customer centric. Usually, you would put in maybe a particular line and a particular customer. If I wanted to know if XYZ Electric uh, uh, what Leviton products they buy, something like that. But that's not not the only way this thing can be used. And in this particular case, we want to know not customer centric, we want to know line centric. So we want to get an idea of what products in a particular product line we're selling. We don't really care who we're selling it to, just how much of it's selling, which ones are selling. Okay, so going forward, we're going to go ahead and we want to know, since we're doing an entire line, we want all the branches in the company. Since we don't have a complete year here, we want a good base of data, but not too stale. We're going to go back a year, so we're going to start January 1st, 2023 to right now, which is 11/5/2024. Okay, our select by, as I said, normally you would kind of make this a customer centric. Of course, you can run this down to the product, the particular product the customer has bought. But in this case, we're doing a line. Price line, we're going to do Nora, which in our system is the price line NOR. Not really sure why. Um, all right, we don't need any additional filtering criteria, so no additional selection. Sorting it by customer is irrelevant for what we're trying to do. We want products that were sold, so we sort by products. We don't need a page break on this because we're just exporting this rather than printing it. Um, all of this information pretty much defaults. We want detail. If we did a summary, it would give us information of in this case, it would probably just give us a total of how much sales dollars we generated for Nora during the entire product line for the year, which wouldn't be terribly helpful. We want to know the sales of particular products. So we leave that a detail, and there's some additional refining data here that we use in includes excludes. Uh, Most of the time, the defaults are fine. In this case, we're including in the report everything stock, non-stock sold through the warehouse, and everything direct ship from the vendor. So that's fine. Additional information, that's EDI information, which we don't use, so nothing there. And then finally, we'll go and have the Phantom run the report. So we go to File and we go Hold to run the report and send it to our hold file for download rather than printing it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We get our final pop-up, which is common in most of the Eclipse reports if there's any costing information. There's more than one uh, pricing scheme within Eclipse, so you have to specify which ones you're dealing with. So the cost of goods sold is going to be, basically purchase price average, um, a fairly accurate estimation of how much the product actually cost you. The generic cost in our case in our system is the calc cost price, which is discussed in other videos. Ordinarily, if we want some extreme detail, we'd do cost of goods, but if it's usually sales-centric information, we'd use the generic cost, which uses calc. It's usually always good to have a cost column in your reports. You'd be surprised when it comes in useful. So we're selecting calc cost and we run it and it goes off the hold file. And now we wait for the Phantom to come back and tell us our report is done. So Phantom has come back and told us our report is there and ready for us to download. All right, so we go to our hold file over here and highlighted is last report being run. So product sales detail for this period. Let's double click on it and do a quick view, just eyeball and see, does it look like it's got the information we wanted? Because there's nothing more annoying than go through all the trouble of downloading and running the conversion scripts and all that, only to find out, oh, I picked the wrong selections in the report and this has got the wrong data in it. So it looks like it's got what we want. So we'll go ahead and close this and then download it to our PC, which of course in Eclipse they inappropriately put it under Tools. So you highlight the report you want to download and you go Tools and Download. Be careful. Do not just type the file name in here because more than likely the file's gonna get saved in a really weird, obscure location in your computer where you'll never find it. So always go in here and make sure it's going to where you think it's going. Do not download these things to your desktop, or if you do, move them into your temp folder on your hard drive because all of my scripts are keyed to look at and operate out of the temp folder, the temp directory. And if you store something in the desktop in Windows, the path that you would have to type into the script to get it to there is like, well, 75 characters long, and you're not going to get it. So put it in temp. Okay, so in this case, this is the prod sales report, Nora for 2024-11-05, and this is going to be a plain text file unformatted with carriage returns. So we do a save. As you can see, when you do downloads, there's a couple of different formatting options, but typically, if you're running my conversion scripts, everything's downloaded as a text file, or if there isn't a conversion script, you're taking your chances with spreadsheet format. Spreadsheet format does not do what it says it does. It does not create an Excel spreadsheet. What it creates is a comma-separated value file, which you can import into Eclipse or into a Excel, which is a royal pain in the ass because you have to fight the filterings, and invariably Eclipse doesn't always put the columns and the column headings where they need to be, and yeah, good luck. It's a pain. That's why I created all the conversion programs I did. Anyway, so we want just a Windows style text file. And download that, and we'll let that click away. And now after a while, the download is successful, so we go ahead and close that and see if it's actually where it's supposed to be. And there it is. Let's take a look at the plain text of it, see if the download looked right. This is Windows 11, so it's going to show you gibberish because they decided to rewrite Notepad. So now after 25 years of me getting used to Notepad working a particular way, they've changed its behavior. Thank you, assholes at Microsoft. Thank you. Clap, 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 clap. Anyway, so it's got word wrap on by default, so it makes the formatting look wrong from the way it's actually. So uncheck the word wrap. Okay. So now we can kind of examine these columns, and it does look the way I would expect it to. All right. So now that we're pretty sure that the raw data is in the format it needs to be, now I can run my conversion scripts and convert it to Excel with little mess and fuss, hopefully. All right, so let me close these down. Fewer windows. All right, so there are a couple different conversion scripts that I have written in Python to handle this report. This first one that we're going to run, this is just going to take the text file and pretty much leave it as relatively unchanged as possible and just put it in a spreadsheet. That is not always the most useful. Say, for instance, you've got a customer that has bought the same product 17 times throughout the year that you've run the report. Well, each time that they buy it, the item is going to show up on the report. So it's going to show up 17 times. Well, maybe you wanted totals. So this other program here, which command Command line, product sales, detail report, text to Excel spreadsheet conversion, consolidated. If you're wondering what my weird nomenclature is, this is what 4 years of working at the Air Force did for me. So this other one will take the report. It'll look for every time the item was sold, and it will consolidate it and total it all up into one line. As I said, typically this product sales report is usually run against a particular customer. I want to see for the product line Leviton, how many Leviton products this customer has bought in the course of a year and how much of it in total. In that type of scenario, this script works pretty well. In the scenario we're doing here, which is kind of an oddball, I don't really care about who the customer is. This script is, I'm going to have to write a new variant because if I've got two different customers, one that bought the same product 9 times, the other bought it 3 times, instead of consolidating all of that from the two different customers into one line, I'm going to have 2 lines. All of the 9 times the first customer bought it under their name, and all of the 3 times the other customer bought it under their name. Not useless, but in our particular case, not the most helpful. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. So running the first program, you don't have to run it in the Visual Studio Code editor, but Eclipse is constantly rewriting the reports. It causes the programs to fail, or you might have come up with a new variant and the program that I wrote you can't interpret the formatting of the text file to do it right. At least running it in Visual Studio, if the script does malfunction, then I've got enough of the error information that I need when you send it to me to modify the program and get it back up on its feet. Where if you just run it command line, just double click on the Python executable, it'll just crash and you won't know why. So depends on how much faith you have in my programming abilities. So we run debug. Here we got the console information. We don't know what the last path is, so we don't want to use the last file path, so we'll enter in the new file path, and this is where ctemp comes in very handy rather than something user desktop cache blah blah blah. Make it easy on yourself. Okay, script will go in, find all the text files in that subdirectory, and give you a listing of which one you want to run the program against. The program will crash, of course, if you run it on anything that's not of the format that it expected. So in this case, number 2 is what we want, the product sales NORA 2024. This is where having a consistent naming for downloaded files comes in very handy when you're trying to untangle which one do I want to run. So go ahead and select 2. The program's working. You see all the lines that it processes and then complete. And woohoo, hopefully we have a spreadsheet. So let us go look at our temp folder and okay, product sales NORA. Typically, if you see this and it's only 6K in length, that means the program screwed up, which means you'll be talking to me again. Let's go ahead and open this up, see what we got. All right, and yeah, we've got the information that we wanted. And as you can see, it's pretty much identical to the format of the original script. So say this customer bought this product 17 times, so it shows up 17 times on the report. Not useless, but sometimes not entirely helpful for what you're trying to do. So now we will see what the output of the other report is. So let's go ahead and close that one, and I'm going to call that the A variant. All right, and now we can run this consolidated report and see what the difference is on that one. So let's delete that console and run the debugger again. Once again, we run the debugger because I'm shit for a programmer, and of course Eclipse makes my shitty programming even worse by constantly changing things. I don't have to enter in the file path again because it's the same path as last time, so I'm just going to tell it, yes, use the same file path. And yes, it's number 2 on the selection again. We run that, processed and done. And hopefully we have got a second spreadsheet. Here we do. And we can see there's a big difference in the file size from 880K to 116K, because with some luck, It's worked and it's consolidated things. Um, so uh, Here you see where this was originally 17 line items of that one product to this one customer. Now it's all consolidated and it's added everything up, including the cost and the sales amount. Um, but here is the problem with this particular version of the script right now. Hopefully I'll write a better one in the future is, well, this product didn't just sell to this one customer. This customer over here in the span of time also bought 8 of them. And the program wasn't keyed to put all that in one line item. So it's still somewhat customer centric. I'll try and write another one that will consolidate that all into one line, but I don't have it at the moment. And anyway, so that is how this particular variant of running the product sales report is done, and the couple of programs that are used to clean it up and put in the spreadsheet. Thank you for your time and attention.